Today is all about metaphors, metaphors, metaphors. One of my favorites, one of my favorites to talk about with regards to helping our clients have their breakthroughs while using metaphors. And no, do not take your paper and write down the metaphor that I'm about to give you because I'm not giving you a metaphor that you can tell your clients. We're actually going to do the opposite, which means that what do we actually do when a client presents a metaphor, not preparing a metaphor before our client sessions. So today we are going to cover a few things. First one is what to do when a client does give us metaphors, what to avoid, and finding the root problem and the core of our client's problem via metaphors. And so, again, inside our advanced conversational hypnosis sessions, we never, ever, ever pre plan anything. We never pre plan what metaphor to say within our client session based on the presenting problem that they give us. And today, because of the very recent ACH experience, we had a client who had a lot of wonderful metaphors. So I'm going to bring that in because what we talked about was actually money blocks. And the metaphors that she gave us had nothing to do with, guess what? Had nothing to do with money. So this is really a big, fascinating topic. And, we are in this change work for a reason, right? We really wanted to make a difference in our clients' lives. And what I've really found to be the most helpful for our clients is that when we get into our sessions, having started here with the symptom problem of something like money blocks, all the way down to this hole that is not even, it does, at first it doesn't make sense, but it's such a deep level and so out there because the unconscious mind has associated so many things with regards to our clients' problems and even our own problems that that's pretty much getting to the root, right? The root is not going to be like a black and white. Yes, this is the belief that is actually stopping you. It's like the weird associations and things that our client's mind has put together and knotted up that is causing that client to have a problem that we need to look at so that that symptom problem eventually breaks off, because it's the things over here, the actual root associations, that are going to be very different in terms of the presentation and expression of it, that will actually help our clients get to actually solve their problem. So metaphors are one of the many things, one of the many unconscious expressions inside our advanced conversational hypnosis sessions. We call these unconscious moments. So a metaphor is an unconscious moment for the most part. And what we really want to do, we're not really wanting to do anything with the metaphors. So okay, hold up. So what do we do when a metaphor presents itself? A client comes in, we are in our session, we talk about the problem, their presenting problem, and eventually they start expressing themselves through metaphors, right? In, the most recent ACH experience we've had, and most recent demo we had a client who talked about wagons, right? Like it felt like the old beliefs that she was carrying was like in this big wagon behind her. And that in itself is a big metaphorical conceptual thing that her mind has expressed with regards to the beliefs she had with regards to money, right? And so that was, a big unconscious moment. And so what do you do when a client presents that to you? Well, you just keep your client's attention on that moment by asking them questions about that metaphor. Okay, so there's a wagon behind you. What is that wagon doing? Blah, 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 blah. Ask about the wagon because that is the unconscious expression, right? So that is how you best keep your clients in that moment. And what you really want to avoid with regards to metaphors is that us as hypnotists, we do not um we do not do anything. We are not going to try to do anything. We're not going to try to lead that metaphor into something that we think is good for our client because we don't really know that for 100% certainty. We are not there in their minds. So if we say, client says, I have all of these beliefs that are in this wagon behind me. And we say, okay, let's take a machete and let us like machete the crap out of the wagon so we can bust those beliefs so you can have more money. No, 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 no. Please don't do that shit. Or whatever it is that you want to do, you think you want to do with a metaphor. That client will know exactly what to do with it, right? Even saying something like, okay, remove the wagon now, Jane Doe client, remove it now. What if that wagon is not ready to be released, right? What if there are still some things that need to be dealt with within that wagon that needs to be dealt with first before it is ready to go, right? We cannot assume anything. So this is like a huge, huge, huge ACH principle that it is not up to us. It is not up to us to do anything about whatever our clients give us. It is the clients themselves who will know exactly what to do. Why? Because it's their unconscious mind who presented it, which means that the unconscious mind can actually start fixing it and rewiring itself without us even needing to do anything. We just keep our clients in that moment. Super, super simple. So that's what you want to avoid. You want to avoid trying to do something with a wagon. Okay, Jane, don't take that wagon out and then just, put a lot of gasoline in it on it, like around it and light it up with a fire and gone. All those beliefs are gone. We don't know if that client would actually respond well to that, right? What if the client has some sort of fire phobia, whatever that is called? Pyrophobia, maybe? What if it's like that, right? So we don't want to do that, right? Instead, what I said at the beginning, keep your clients in that moment. Keep your clients in that moment because what is going to happen is that eventually their mind will start creatively looking at all of these puzzle pieces. And then that is how we go down the root of the problem, which is exactly what happened inside the last ACH experience. But just kept her in the wagon. She kept talking about it, about it, about it. Eventually, she removed the wagon, right? And that is really one of the best things we can do because then it teaches our clients that they are in control of this, right? That they can let go of this at or of whatever it is that they want to let go, but have a bit of hesitation letting go of, that it teaches them that they have the power to actually do it and they are in control of whatever it is that they want to let go of when they decide that it is the time to do so. And isn't that a very, very important skill that we can teach our clients instead of, okay, Jane Doe, take that wagon out and then do this and then do that and then give them all of these fancy suggestions and language patterns and metaphorical terms that I mean, I don't know about you, but I've seen those language patterns and that's not how I talk. So it's not, it's not really the best for our clients. In ACH, we keep it very casual, like it is a conversation and it is using our client's language, which for this client was all about metaphors, all about wagons. That was the session. Money blocks, wagons. We went through some other stuff, but you know, I won't I won't reveal all the secrets. But really that is how we best find the root cause, just by simply placing our client's attention on it, having having an interest ourselves with regards to what is happening. Like it's completely random and completely out there. But if we are invested in finding out, if we are invested, if we are curious as to what this wagon is, our clients are also going to be more likely to share more things because it is unusual. Think about it for the client side. They're like talking about wagons, and then we're like really involved. And even though at the back of their mind, maybe consciously, they're like, this is weird. Like, why are we talking about wagons? But we're really, really like in there and we're really invested in what we're talking about in the conversation. They're more likely going to be there, which what happens? It reduces resistance. It makes them really involved. There will be no one-word answers because we are speaking their language. We are speaking the language of their unconscious mind. And of course, this will only work if the metaphors come up organically, right? If a client is not talking about metaphors, we're not going to force a metaphor on them as well. So when a client presents a metaphor, this is what you do. This is how you get to the root problem. Very, very simple. But of course, because it is simple, it is not as easy to always implement because we get to our overthinking minds. I definitely did this. And we mess things up because we think it is too easy. We think that it can't be too easy. That was my problem. But learning to trust this method is really what is going to help our clients to achieve those 10 to 15-minute breakthroughs, actually achieve the root of the problem that is keeping them stuck. Because although this wonderful client had money issues, we talked about every area of her life as well, in terms of her health, nutrition, even spirituality, just by focusing on the metaphors from a very superficial presenting problem of money blocks. So this is how we can make a next level impact in our clients' lives. This is how we get better at the therapeutic process within our hypnosis sessions, not the hypnosis itself. I'm talking about how to create a therapeutic, lasting change for our clients, which is, I know what you care about, right? So I hope this helped. This is very, very fascinating. Metaphors are, again, one of my most favorite things to do. So when a client organically, this is the really the most important thing. If you're talking to a client and organically they have an unconscious expression of using metaphors, jump on that right away. Remove all the questions that were in the back of your mind. Client talks about wagons, let us talk about wagons ASAP. That is how you get those breakthroughs fast, and avoid making your own shit up as to what you think they need to do with that metaphor. Maybe that wagon is something they need to be carrying for 10 days and then let go of. We don't know that. We allow the clients to know that for themselves so they can have the control and they can learn that they are in control of releasing and doing whatever they want with their lives, which is going to be more liberating for them. And then this is how you find the root cause, because it is through building up and expanding these unconscious expressions that our clients find what the actual root of the problem is. And hint, hint, it's not going to be about, if the presenting problem is about money, it ain't going to be a conversation about money. It's not, because if it is, then we're just going through the superficial layer symptom. The deeper you go, the more unusual it is. That is how you get closer to the root of the problem, which will affect your clients' lives in more than one area on top the presenting problem that they came to us with. So I hope that helped. If you have any questions at all, let me know, and I will see you soon.